Hey, what's up, guys? How's it going? Today I'm going to go over how to draw Frankenstein because it's Halloween season. So let's kind of get into it. I'm going to use two things right now. I'm going to be using a pencil and I'm going to be using a Sharpie. The biggest point of this is to prove that, not prove, but just to kind of show that you can make a pretty decent picture using a blunt instrument like a Sharpie. So we're going to start out with a pencil. Doesn't matter what kind of pencil. This is going to be for the framework, the kind of underneath. I'm going to start with a circle, a ball. I do that for kind of the skull area. I'm thinking about. I'm not even really sure you can see that because this is for my own reference. This is mostly just for placing it. I'm going to do it as light as I can because I want to get rid of it later on. I'm going to put it a little bit darker just to kind of so the camera will show. It'll show on camera more. I'm going to put a straight line down to kind of have the center line of the face. Straight line down. The way I'm going to do this, I'm going to divide it, the front of the face into thirds. I'm going to do the brow line, and the Frankenstein has Frankenstein's going to have a little bit of a different one. I'm just going to show you at the beginning. I'm going to have a brow line. Frankenstein's got a huge brow. This is going to be the top of the head on a regular. I'm going to divide it the way I would divide a normal head, but then I'm going to change it according to Frankenstein's proportions. So the top of the hairline, the brow line, and then right below the nose and bottom of the chin. If you divide those up, they'd be thirds, or at least something close to that. So that's what I'm going to start out with. I'm going to put a little, I'm going to place in the eyeballs here. I'm just going to put in these little sunglasses looking things for the kind of the cylinder where the eye goes into. The kind of cut out shape. Going down, putting down the nose. These are all just lines for construction, for spacing, for proportion. So this is where I'm going to deviate from a normal person. What I'm going to do is I'm going to actually I'm going to extend his hairline high up. He's going to have a big old Frankenstein style head, It's a big character. He's got a big kind of square head as well. These, again, this is skeletal system stuff. Not skeletal, I'm sorry. This is construction. He's got kind of a big chin, too. I'm going to add on to his chin a little bit. He's going to have a square chin. Neck. He's going to have bolts coming out of his neck. These are all, again, doing very light lines so that I can replace it later on. These are just for spacing, things like that. So that's definitely a decent, that's decent enough to know kind of where you're going to go with it. Alright, so I'm going to grab the Sharpie marker and I'm going to go into his eyes. I'm going to go mostly into his brow line here. Alright. The lighting's going to be coming from the top, so he's going to have the dark, kind of cavernous eyes look going on. The lighting's almost always coming from the top. You can see the hollowed area of the eye socket. Going down to the nose. Also, be careful how long you use Sharpie markers. They have this really awful smell, and it is not good for you. It is kind of toxic after a while, so be careful not to inhale it for too long, or do it in a ventilated area. The light's coming down onto the nose. It's casting a shadow down. That nose is going to cast a shadow onto his upper lip. So we're going to indicate it. We're just going to show it with black. And same thing goes for his mouth. Let's see. Light's coming from top to bottom, so it's going to cast a shadow from the upper lip. The tooth cylinder. Go around to the laugh line. Lines sort of go from the nostril, the wings of the nostril, all the way down to the side of the cheek there. Go to the edge of his face. Careful how you use the marker, like how deep you go with the how heavy the line weight you use is. I would say in general, try to use a light line weight everywhere and then darken it up as you become more definitive. Okay, here's a big differentiation. His brow line is huge. Big kind of Neanderthal. So I'm gonna make his brow kind of pop out. Let me know, guys, if you guys want more of a video tutorial on maybe technique with the marker specifically. This technique is a big part of this. It's something you learn along the way, but it's definitely also it's there, you know. And I used to do caricatures, you know, where you use this types of markers all the time, and you'd have to learn little tricks. It's not even really tricks. It's just little. I guess they are tricks, but there's no secret to them, you know. It's just something you learn over a given amount of time of using it. It's experience, and it's something that you can gain. You can gain through trial and error, or I mean, a faster way would be having someone literally tell you what that is, and you still have to go through that trial and error, but it kind of cuts that trial and error in half, or even more so, it cuts it way down. Drawing his ear in here. Now we're gonna go to his hair. You know, I'm gonna actually darken in his eyes because I feel like it'll look kind of cool like that. Flicking small lines, minor details. Minor details are always done in really thin, wispy lines, as opposed to the really dark outlines around most of the other, around the main structures, like the eyes and the nose. All right, let's go to the hair, which is gonna really define him. I'm gonna draw the hair very much like I'm gonna kind of draw it and fill it in at the same time, in a way. Top of the Frankenstein skull. Pull this out a little bit. Filling it in. Alright, filled in his hair. Now I'm going to go to the bolts in his neck, which is also another huge thing that defines Frankenstein. A lot of different ways to draw the bolts, but I'm just going to some very simple structures protruding from his neck. Alright, now I'm going to go back and with an eraser kind of erase the lines we originally put underneath for structure. And now we're going to go on for some, I'm going to look at it, take a good look at it, and I'm going to put some minor detail. A lot of that's going to be done with a thin, wispy line. Maybe something around his cheek, you know. And a lot of it's going to be me dabbing it, like just a dot. I put a shadow underneath the ear there, almost forgot about that. More lines on his forehead. More lines on his brow. Alright then. And that is Frankenstein. So, if you're on the Halloween spirit, that's kind of the way I go about doing it. Just to recap, the only two things I used a pencil, doesn't matter what kind of pencil I used, and I used a Sharpie marker, and that's, you can use any marker you want. So, don't forget to share and like if you did, and please subscribe to my channel. I'm going to have a few different giveaways for subscribers. So, thanks a lot, guys. See you next time.